Hello, welcome to this course, Plantain Farming Business, and welcome to Model 1. In Model 1, we'll be assessing an overview of the plantain farming business, the importance and the opportunities in the plantain farming sector. The objective of this model is to help you understand the importance and profitability of plantain farming and also to learn about the life cycle and growth stages of plantain. Then we will explore the opportunities in the plantain value chain. Why is plantain farming important? Plantain is a staple crop. It's a major source of food and income for millions of smallholder farmers, and it's a lucrative business because it has a potential for both local and international exports. So it's something that is eaten by a lot of people in Nigeria and Africa, and it's something that can be sold across country because it's not an agricultural produce that is limited to a particular geographical region. The demand for plantain is high in West African countries, Central African countries, in Latin America, and even the Caribbeans, right? And there's also an increased demand for the processed plantain products, both in the local markets and in the international markets because of the health concerns. And then looking at profitability, right? There is a low cost of production once your farm is established because once you've established your farm, you would have to harvest severally before having to go back to a new production cycle. And there is a steady market demand. So for every time you have a plantain, there is a market to buy it. And beyond the market to buy it, there's a potential value for the other products that can be made out of plantain. So it means that if you are not selling at its fresh form, there are markets for you to sell other products out of it. And let's talk about the nutritional benefits of plantain. Plantain is very high in carbohydrates, so it's an energy giving food. And it contains vitamin A and C, which is very, very important. There is a part about fiber that makes it easy for digestion. And that is why a lot of people who are on health journey or looking to eat healthy eat plantain. Now, plantain helps in managing blood pressure due to its high potassium content. And that's why most times when you go to the hospital, you hear conversations about eating unripe plantain and the ripe plantain. And because of the source of fiber, it's easy for digestion and gut health. Then talking about our skin health, plantain comes handy. And that's why there are a lot of skin products that are made out of plantain. Now let's talk about the economic benefits. There is consistent income in plantain all over the year, and there are various ways of making money from the value added product of plantain. And within communities, plantain farming is one business that can always create jobs because beyond the planting, the management will always need people. Also, let's talk about it on a global scale. Plantain availability reduces food scarcity and helps us to fight food security. But then because it has export value, the potential for export revenue is also very, very high. And let's learn about the plantain crop itself. It's a variety of banana. So people will tell you that plantain and banana, what difference? Plantain is larger and it has more starch. But the major difference is with plantain, you have to cook before you eat. With banana, you can eat without cooking. And let's go to the crop life cycle. Plantain has five major stages. The first is when you have to put in the sucker, or if you're doing this from the lab, tissue, you have to now set up your tissue culture to have your first set of plantain. After that, you allow it to grow leaves and the roots so that the roots can go down. Next, we now begin to have the flowers, right? The male flowers and then the female flowers. Next thing that now comes in is now the fruiting. That is when this plantain begins to form and then it begins to mature. And the last stage is when it is fully ready for harvest. Now let's go about this in details. In the stage one, which is the propagation, you have to deal with looking for the right suckers, or if you're doing this from the lab, you have to prioritize the in vitro plantlets which are used in growing the plantain in the lab. The next thing is that you have to think about the site and the soil you would use for planting. And when it gets to the vegetative growth stage, you have to look at the leaf growth and the root growth. You always have to maintain at this stage with watering and checking the nutrition level of the soil. The moment it begins to flower, you now know that pollination is important for fruit development. And at fruiting stage, your work is to monitor for pests and diseases to ensure that it does not damage any of the plantain at this stage. And then when it comes to harvest, it is important to ensure that the timing of your harvest is prioritized so that you have high yield and the quality of your plantain will be very intact. Again, let's pick to plantain and banana difference. In plantain and banana, there are three major differences. In their size and shape, plantains are thicker and they have more angular shape than banana, meaning you get to see it in more curvy format than a banana would be. Plantains are starchy and not as sweet as banana. And lastly, plantains are typically cooked, boiled, fried, grilled before you eat it. Banana, you take them raw. What are the opportunities in the plantain value chain? In the plantain value chain, there is the production business, which is around selling of suckers, planting of the plantain, that's running a plantain farm. There's the processing part where you have to bring in this plantain and make chips, flour, crisps, puree, or you can even go into the waste opportunity where you pick the waste, the peels, and make added products. And now there are opportunities for you to also go into the buying and selling and marketing of this produce. This is where you just reach out to farmers within your community and then you buy these plantains and sell it to the international market based on demand. Guys, we have come to the end of this session. And what I want you to do at this point is ask yourself, which parts of the plantain value chain are you really interested in? And in the stages of planting, which of them excites you the most? Let me know in the comment section of this video. And yes, let's summarize what we have learned so far. We've learned that plantain is nutritious and has economic potential. We also know that there's a market for it locally and internationally. We now understand that there are 5 stages in the plantain crop development, and we know that there's a key difference between plantain and banana, and that is why plantain has a lot of economic value. We also know that there are a lot of opportunities for you beyond your plantain farming, which involves both the production, the processing, and marketing. Overall, value addition of plantain increases profitability. I would encourage you to take a quiz at this point. If you're taking this course from the online school, do take the quiz. And if you're taking this on YouTube, this is your cue to go to the online school to take a quiz. In the next module, we'll be diving into the farm setup, propagation, and the planting of this plantain. Thank you.